For the past few years, the entire AI industry has been chanting the same mantra. Scale is all you need, right? More compute, bigger models, more data. But, that era is officially ending. So today, we're going to explore why the future of AI performance isn't about brute force anymore. It's about a strategic pivot to something much more valuable. Clean, human-verified data. Okay, let's dive right in.
So let's paint a picture. It's March 2026. That beautiful exponential S-curve of AI progress, the one that defined a whole industry, it's suddenly slammed into a wall. It's flat. The strategy that we all relied on, just making models bigger, well, it's just not working anymore. The open secret is out. Brute force scaling has hit its absolute limit.
And that, of course, brings us to the big question. Why? If throwing more compute and more parameters at the problem has worked so well for so long, why is it suddenly failing us? The answer, it turns out, isn't in the models themselves. It's in what we've been feeding them.
Yeah, this problem actually has a name, model autophagy disorder, or MAD for short. And autophagy literally means self-eating. That's exactly what's happening here. As these models are trained on the tidal wave of AI-generated content that's now flooding the internet, they start consuming their own synthetic exhaust. And this leads to a measurable decay in their ability to reason with any kind of nuance.
This visual here just nails the problem perfectly. It's this synthetic data loop, and it is poisoning the well. So as models are trained on their own lower quality derivative output, what you get is a regression to the mean. They forget all the rare, valuable edge case knowledge that made them so incredibly powerful in the first place.
But hey, just identifying the problem is only step one. The real challenge is, what do you do about it? And this requires a really fundamental pivot, a complete shift in thinking away from that old obsession with data volume and towards a new focus on data value.
And the solution has a name, too. It's called the biological anchor. The whole concept is actually pretty simple but incredibly powerful. To fight back against all that synthetic data noise, you have to ground your AI in a stable, high-fidelity source of truth. And what is that? It's human-generated data. Specifically, archival data from before 2023, before the internet got saturated with LLM speak, and proprietary, expert-verified information.
This table really just lays out the whole business case, doesn't it? Look at the left. With dirty data, you're not just getting lousy performance, you're taking on huge operational risks from hallucinations, and you're paying a premium for the privilege. But then look at the right. With a clean biological anchor, you totally flip the script. You get better performance, you get verifiable reasoning, and you get these dramatic cost savings by using smaller, way more efficient models. It's a no-brainer.
So this is the key. It's all about this mindset shift. The old game was totally about data volume. How many terabytes can we possibly scrape? The new game is all about data density. How much verifiable, nuanced, human-authored fact is packed into every single token we use for training? That's the metric that matters now.
And this focus on density has a just staggering financial impact. We're talking about a 40 to 60% reduction in inference costs. Think about that. By training smaller, more efficient 7 to 14 billion parameter models on what we're calling perfect data, you slash your costs compared to running these giant bloated models on dirty web-scraped data. This isn't just some minor tweak, it's a complete overhaul of the economic model of AI.
Okay, so we get the strategy, we get the massive financial upside, so now let's get practical. How do you actually build this out into a real solution? How do you implement this clean data approach? Well, it really requires a new way of thinking about system architecture, and of course, a very clear roadmap.
And here it is. This is the blueprint for a modern AI system. First things first, stop treating your LLM like some know-it-all database. It's not. Treat it like a reasoning engine. Then you use retrieval augmented generation, RAG, to pull information from your private, curated, human-only data vaults. And this is crucial. You have to implement a data forensics pipeline to constantly audit and filter out any of that synthetic gunk that tries to creep its way in. And here's how you get there, an actual actionable plan. The first half of the year is all about auditing your current data pipelines, really figure out how contaminated they are, and at the same time procuring access to those clean, human-only archives. Then the second half of the year is all about synthesis and deployment. Use your own human experts to craft these gold standard reasoning examples and fine-tune your models on that absolutely pristine data. All right, we have covered the strategy, the problem, the solution. Now let's just boil this all down into a super clear checklist for execution. These are the key takeaways you can literally bring back to your teams tomorrow.
So here it is, your 3-point plan. First, audit your pipeline.
You have to ask the hard question: is our model inadvertently training on its own echo? Second, invest in curation. Trust me, 1,000 expert verified reasoning chains are infinitely more valuable than a billion raw tokens off the web. And finally, prioritize your data architecture. The way you structure and access your clean data, that is the new scaling law.
So, as we wrap this up, I really want to leave you with this one critical question to think about for your own strategy. As you build for the future, are you grounding your AI in the rich, verifiable data of the human past? Or are you just letting it get lost, training on an endless, pointless echo of its own creation?